You studied your history, and you did not take over this country by singing "We Shall Overcome." You did not gain control of the world like you have it now by dealing fairly with a man and keeping your word. You're treaty breakers, you're liars, you're thieves, you rape entire continents and races of people. Then you wonder why these very people don't have any confidence or trust in you. Your religion means nothing. Your law is a farce, and we see it every day. You demonstrated it in Alabama, and I can say you because you're part of the whole system. You profit from it. In fact, you make your living from it. You couldn't walk around and talk to people, stand up in your pulpit on Sunday and preach nice little songs and say, now we're going to give thanks to the Lord for he is good and old Jesus be among us. As far as we're concerned, your Jesus is contaminated, just like everything else you tried to force upon us is contaminated. Well, so you can have him. And here's what I'll say. I wish you would follow Jesus like we followed him. Because if you did that, then we'd be in charge tomorrow.
You gotta hear this. So 70% of inmates are a product of a single-parent household. What they don't tell you is that single fathers produce similar statistics of those of homes with two parents, while single mothers don't. So the key to keep your children out of prison is the father, but mothers are awarded custody 90% of the time. Women are incentivized to leave a marriage, and prisons profit $74 billion a year. Am I thinking too much, or is there some sort of plan here?
You know what I was thinking about, ladies and gentlemen, in the black community, the majority of black people say that they're Christian. And we know saying that you're Christian and everything with Christianity and how it was fed to us even during slavery taught us to be docile, taught us to, we'll have a better life in the sweet by and by. We need to turn the other cheek. But I thought, what if the majority of black Americans was Islamic? Because when you look at Islam, they don't believe in all that turn the other cheek. They believe in the law of retaliation. They believe in keeping their family structure real tight and together. Like if you look into like the principles of Islam, they have a very, very strict code about family and sticking together and whatever. I think if I had a choice to say what religion all black Americans would be, I say black Americans should have been Islam.
The British actually purchased grain that the Bengalis could barely afford to buy in order to ship it to Europe, not to aid the war effort, as his defenders claim, but to boost the buffer stocks in the event of a future possible invasion of Greece and Yugoslavia. People started dying, and Churchill said, well, it's all their fault anyway for breeding like rabbits. He said, I hate the Indians. They're a beastly people with a beastly religion. Australian ships were docking in Calcutta port and were ordered by Churchill and his odious paymaster, General Lord Chauvel, not to disembark their wheat, but to sail on to Europe, where their wheat might be used in some future reserve stock, saying that people were dying literally on the streets, and all Churchill could bring himself to do was write peevishly on the side of the file, why hasn't Gandhi died yet?
Wow.
And this is the man the British want us to hail as an apostle of freedom and democracy, when he has as much blood on his hands as some of the worst genocidal dictators of the 20th century.
Salaam Alaikum. Mr. Moderator, our distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, our friends and our enemies.
Bismillah wa salatu wa salam Rasulullah wa ba'd. In the name of Allah,
and may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon his last and final messenger. Family, friends, foes, haters, and hateettes, welcome back to the Feachaz. I greet you all in peace and love with no hatred in my heart. Assalamu Alaikum Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. So before we begin, please like, please subscribe, and please share. As you know, we got a lot of haters up in here. And today's topic, some people are just the gift that keep on giving. But today's topic, we are going to connect some dots here. Some dots that have been going on for the better part of at least 2 centuries, with some certain doctrines that have been pushed towards Black folk, and Black people still insist on eating up the doctrines of their open enemies and expecting to get the reward for it. If you look at today's title, Black Folks Don't Go to Heaven. This title was chosen specifically because there are people internationally that believe that, though they won't say it, because you know by their rhetoric and by the heroes that they laud, that they actually believe this. And this is something that has actually been openly said about Black folk. It's been said openly. So before we begin, please like, please subscribe, please share, and let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Okay? So those of you who are familiar, after the Civil Rights War, or sorry, not civil rights, the Civil War, the Civil War in the U.S., America was coming to grips with what to do with its newly freed slaves. And during this time, there were arguments whether or not even these newly freed slaves were even human beings at all. And this has been going on for a long time. So the French philosopher Voltaire, for example, he said, the Negro is a beast, and beasts do not have souls. That is a direct quote. In English, of course, right? Translated. But this was the prevalent belief. And that belief has trickled down into modern times. The American physician and writer, Samuel A. Cartwright, some of you might be familiar with him. He said, the Negro, pardon me, the Negro is different from the white man, as is, check this out, the crocodile from the bird. They are so inferior that they are justly separated from men. They are justly separated from men, meaning the Negro is not a man. Mind you, these are some of the brightest minds and thinkers of that era, which is not too long ago. That was the early 19th century that he wrote that. Abraham Lincoln, y'all know what Abraham Lincoln is famous for. Abraham Lincoln himself, when he was debating Stephen Douglas in 1858, he said, there is a physical difference between the white and the black races, which I believe, Abraham Lincoln, he believes, will forever forbid the two races living together on terms of social and political equality. Well, we know why there is no social and political equality. it is from no shortage of effort of black folk to achieve that equality. But we here at the Black Grassroots, we are not looking to be equal with these devils. What do we look like trying to be equal with the devil? And we at the Black Grassroots, we say to try to appease to the humanity of people who are just human looking is an exercise in trivialness. These are not humans we're talking about. That's Abraham Lincoln who said that. Abraham Lincoln said there's a physical difference between black and white races, which I believe will forever forbid the two races living together on terms of social and political equality. Okay? British author, cleric, and philosopher Lawrence Stern, another very popular person, he said, and he's a cleric. This is a cleric now. They're talking about the church now. He said, it is impossible for us to suppose that these creatures, meaning Africans, to be men. I will repeat. He said, it is impossible for us to suppose these creatures, meaning Africans, to be men. Because allowing them to be men, a suspicion will follow that we ourselves are not Christians. Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that? It is impossible for us to suppose that these creatures, meaning Africans, to be men. Because allowing them to be men, a suspicion would follow that we ourselves are not Christians. Meaning that if you assume that black folks are men, then this is tantamount to apostasy from Christianity. Are y'all catching this? George Fitzhugh, the politician from the 19th century. Y'all can look all of this up. George Fitzhugh, he said, a black man has no individuality, and there is therefore never a man in the true sense. He is a species of speaking animal. I hope y'all are taking notes. I hope y'all are taking notes. Alexander Stephens, another American politician in the 19th century, he said, the Negro is not equal to the white man. Slavery, subordination to the superior race is his natural and normal condition. Are y'all catching this? But Bilal, that was a century ago. What does all of this have to do with us today? Well, I'm glad you asked. See, for some strange reason, when it comes to black folk, and specifically black people, history is never seen as something that affects us in the present. When it comes to our history, and explicitly our history, no other people gets told this. And I challenge y'all to find the people that get told this. When it comes to our history, we always and habitually get told, well, that was in the past. That don't happen anymore. That don't happen no more. Correct? Isn't that what we get told? We get told that why are you bringing all this stuff up? Let's go back to some of these quotes, and I'm going to show you something, okay? Let's go back actually to the most recent one. The Negro is not equal to the white man. Slavery, subordination to the superior race, is his natural and normal condition. Meaning, the natural condition of black people and the normal condition to black people is that they must be enslaved to the superior races of the earth. Ain't that right? What does it have to do with today? You want to see what this has to do with today? Y'all want to see? Let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all something. You ready? Y'all ain't ready for this. Like me up on Patreon. This is an article, Zero. If y'all can see the date of this article is dated, let me just find the date for you, May 28th, 2022. What's the title of that article? Don't say it. Just read it. Because if you say it, YouTube will give us that work. Look at the title of that article. Are y'all hearing me? Is this 100 years ago? But wait. Who are the enslavers of these black folk? Who are they? Who are the enslavers of these black folk? Is this 100 years ago? Is this 100 years ago? No, it's not Berbers. It's not Berbers. These are your Muslim brothers kidnapping and torturing and enslaving black Africans in the Muslim country, Libya. And this article is in May 28th, 2022. Oh, y'all hearing me? You want to see something? Let me show you something. Look at that. What does that say? Al Jazeera. The experts of 4 migrants suffered human rights abuses in secret detention facilities controlled by human traffickers in the areas of Tazribu and the Libyan desert between Beni Walid near the northwest coast. They said victims were enslaved, severely beaten, deliberately starved, and denied medical care. Remember what we read to you. Remember what we just read to you. Lawrence Stern, the cleric, it is impossible for us to suppose these creatures, meaning Africans, to be men, because allowing them to be men, a suspicion will follow that we ourselves are not Christians. Meaning that if you think that black Africans are men, then you are apostatizing from Christianity. Are y'all hearing me? Abraham Lincoln, there's a physical difference between the white and the black races, and I believe will forever forbid the 2 races living together on terms of social and political equality. These statements were made over a century ago, and the application of these statements is being practiced by Arabs all over the world. But the most egregious oversteps, which happen to be happening in Libya, not a single one of your YouTubian Da'i elites have ever mentioned this, not even one single time. Not once have they mentioned this. Al Jazeera is mentioning this. CNN is mentioning this. MSNBC is mentioning this. All your major news outlets are mentioning this. But not a single one of your YouTubian Da'i elites are mentioning it. But yet today, we have an entire movement behind the tragedy that happened in Turkey and Syria over the earthquake. Not to mention the protests that are happening for Palestinians. Y'all see how that works? Y'all see how that works? Every black Muslim feels pain for what happened to our brothers and sisters in Turkey, what happened to our brothers and sisters in Syria, and what happened to brothers and sisters in Palestine, correct? Not a single one of us doesn't feel pain. But do not confuse your pain for them, or do not think that because your pain for them will be reciprocated with pain for you and your struggle. Never. Never. May 28th, 2022. But wait, there's more. 2 former female detainees who were 14 and 15-year-old girls at the time further testified to the panel that multiple perpetrators repeatedly raped them, subjected them to sexual slavery and other forms of sexual violence. Your Muslim brothers. Your Muslim brothers. Are y'all hearing me? So when they talk about our pain, and explicitly our pain always happened some 100 years ago, 200, and it's never happening today. Never. It is something that has happened always in the past. So the question comes up, why in the world are we always in the front lines for every other people group except ourselves? And furthermore, we allow our enemies and the enemies of Allah to teach us our religion. Can you imagine? Post-traumatic slave syndrome, Stockholm syndrome. If you read this entire article, this has been going on, this enslaving Black Africans in Libya and forcing Black Muslim women into prostitution, sex slavery, by force, mind you. This has been going on at least since 2013. 2013. But it didn't start in 2013. It started in the early 1600s when the first ships from Portugal arrived in the western coast of Africa. It made deals with Western Africans to kidnap their own people, put them on these ships, and send them across the ocean to enrich white folk. And then when the Arabs found out how much they can make in kidnapping white folks, they got in on it too. And so a statement like what George Fitzhugh said in the 19th century, the Black man has no individuality and is therefore never a man in the true sense. He is a species, a speaking animal. Who is putting this in practice today? Do you not think the people that are kidnapping us and withholding our freedom from us in the Arab world, are those not the perpetrators in practice of those very same white supremacist intellects? We're talking about intellects here. We're talking about the, the high brass of society who are making these statements. And it's very easy for them to ignore your pain. But now there's a new brand. Even you can even say it's a new sect, almost like a new religion that's popping up amongst the Muslims. And it's the first time I've seen a new sect pop up explicitly from social media. Algorithm Islam or Algor Islam, the alt-right Muslim, brass. These people who have no Quran with them, no Sunnah with them, but a whole bunch of talking points against liberalism and against feminism, mesmerizing hundreds of thousands and even millions of Muslims with cute one-liners and memes An entire sect has popped up. An entire sect has popped up. And this sect, not only do they quote the very same white supremacists that we are quoting right now, that long line, the modern white supremacists, they don't call themselves white supremacists anymore because that leaves a bad taste in your mouth. They call themselves alt-right. They call themselves white nationalists because it's easier for you to swallow that pill. But it's the same people. It's the same people. And what are they saying? What are these people saying now? Y'all ain't ready for this. I gotta say, y'all ain't ready for this. Y'all ain't ready. Y'all better share this one because it's about to get hot now. Y'all are not ready for this. You bet share now. Look here, share now. Look at this. The usual suspect again. What's he saying this time? Can y'all see that? Let me just magnify this for you. All right, let me just get this bigger so y'all can see. This is what they're fighting for. Y'all see? What did he say? What did this biscuit say this time? Daniel Haqiqatjou, once again. Andrew Tate is a POC. What's a POC? Y'all know what a POC is? A POC is a person of color. Look what he says. Why aren't the BLM bots and the CRT drones denouncing the white supremacy that is keeping him caged? Is it because white women are higher in the victimhood hierarchy than black and brown men? Look what this fool is saying now. Look what this fool is saying now. Are y'all sharing this? Andrew Tate is a POC, meaning person of color. Why aren't the BLM bots and the CRT drones denouncing the white supremacy that is keeping him caged? Is it because white women are higher in the victimhood hierarchy than black or brown men? Daniel, this is an excellent question. Great question. But here's the thing. How about you go first? Why don't you go first? Since us BLM bots and CRT drones aren't denouncing the white supremacy that is keeping Andrew Tate, the person of color, in jail, how about we ask you a few questions? Did you talk about George Floyd? Oh yeah, you did, didn't you? Can you remind us what you said about George Floyd? Did you talk about Breonna Taylor? Oh, yeah, you did, didn't you? Can you remind us what you said about Breonna Taylor? Did you talk about Nazism? Yeah, you did, didn't you? You said the Muslims should work together with the white supremacists, didn't you? In order to fight liberalism. Did you talk about Tyree Nichols? Yeah, you did, didn't you? You talked about Tyree Nichols, didn't you? Well, let me ask you this, Daniel. Since we are defending the oppressed here, did you talk about the black Muslims being enslaved in Libya by Arabs? Or as a matter of fact, did you talk about any black Muslim being enslaved anywhere in the Arab world? Let alone Libya. Since now you've taken an interest in people of color being imprisoned unjustly. This is what they think of you. Are y'all listening? This is what they think of you. That 100 years ago nonsense that they keep throwing in your face, that's today. Andrew Tate is in jail because of white supremacy? Word? You see, when you have no morals and no scruples, it's easy for you to say almost anything to get a following. But the real question is that how are self-respecting Muslims reading tweets like this and insisting on following that? Do you know why? It's because they believe like he believes. And if you want to know the extent of how many Muslims just can't stand black people, all you need to go no further than to watch what the alt-right segment of the Muslims are saying and how they're uniting. That's all you need to do. So when you see, black folk, do not confuse husnul dhan with being gullible and naive. This is your enemy here. If you start talking about black issues, he wants to put you in a box which is called BLM or CRT, correct? I wish a biscuit would call me a liberal. Let these biscuits, I dare them to call me liberal. I wish a biscuit would. But we are very openly calling this person a racist. We know very well that hundreds and thousands of Muslims are being comfortable with their racism and uniting based upon that, and refuse to call this white supremacist, Nazi sympathizing, who knows what, a racist. They refuse to call him a racist, but they will call some random Somalian girl who says black first, not Muslim first, they'll call that racist. Where are these biscuits? Come and defend this. Come on. It's so funny how he picks and chooses selective justice. So George Floyd, who was suffocated for 9 minutes, is George Fentanyl Floyd. George Fentanyl Floyd. But Andrew Tate, who got his wealth, how did he get his wealth? Through porn, through the porn industry, webcam, cam girls. Admitted self-snitch on money laundering, okay? Openly admitted that. It's not my words, it's Andrew Tate's words. Me personally, I still don't know if he's innocent or guilty, but he has a lot of audio material that can be considered self-snitching. Bare minimum, he is absolutely guilty of money laundering. Bare minimum. By his own admission. And we said on his channel that, and we said it way back, right? It might, I don't know anything about Romanian law, but it might be very possible they don't even want him for the charges that they're put on him. They might want him for some other stuff, like money laundering. That's what I said way back then before I even knew the details of the case, right? And now this is what I believe. I believe that even more fervently. They probably want him for these other things. And so they are trying to coerce the woman in his business to talk about that. That's what we said, but we don't know about the other stuff. He is out here talking about his white supremacy. Andrew Tate is in jail because of white supremacy. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? The gonads, if he has them, okay, on this dude. But what's even worse is you have 21 retweets. 21. $233 likes. And that was on the 29th of January. Who knows how many retweets and likes it has now? Pardon me. 15,000 views. Almost 16,000 views at that time on the 23rd. Who knows how many it has now? So if you want to know the extent of people that hate you, black folk, amongst the Muslims, look no further than this kind of stuff. And stop saying husnul dhan. How can you possibly have husnul dhan for this? How is that even a thing? Husnul dhan for this? Stop playing. Stop playing. Look at this. The Negro is a beast, and the beasts do not have souls. French philosopher Voltaire. The Negro is different from the white man, as is a crocodile from the bird. So they're inferior, that they are justly separated from men. Who are the men? White folk. American physician and writer Samuel A. Cartwright. There is a physical difference between white and black races, which I believe will forever forbid the two races and living together on terms of social and political equality. Abraham Lincoln in a debate with Stephen Douglas. This right here is the practical application of that white supremacy. Does this sound like somebody who believes that the black and white races can live together? And even if we could, which one of y'all want to live with this? Who is rushing to live with this? Which one of you Negroes is rushing to live side by side and integrate with this? Inquiring minds need to know. Are any of y'all in a big rush to come behind this and live as and kumbaya with your Muslim brother like this? These are the people that you put your trust in your religion with? This? Y'all are tripping. Y'all are tripping. Y'all need to get off the chronic, man. These folks are the ones that endure that you are forever under the thumb of white supremacy and Arab supremacy. And you talking about, well, he got some good points. The devil got some good points too, don't he? Don't the devil got some good points? Didn't the devil give us the breakdown on Ayatul Kursi? You see, there's a thing that goes on with this generation, okay? Anybody that comes with a viral one-liner, anybody that agrees with your worldview, all of a sudden their worldview becomes your worldview based upon one-liners. And the Prophet ﷺ said that the soothsayer, Yarab, and the fortune teller, they go to their shayateen. And the shayateen mixes one truth with 1,000 lies. That's these folks. That's them. You don't believe they lie? Not only do they lie, but they bold-faced lie.
And on the far left of it, you have yaqeen and this, which are more like, appeasement to, liberalism or feministic people or proponents or elements. And the middle of it, you have, I would put you somewhere in the middle, but maybe not on the right. Before you were more on the right, now you're here.
Why you always lying?
Just lie. That wasn't a mistake. It was just a lie. It's just a bull-faced lie. It wasn't a slip of the tongue. He lying. But you want to rattle off one-liners just like these dudes rattle off one-liners instead of putting in the work. Like, where all y'all? Where all y'all? Where you at? Where you people at? Come and defend your zaddy. Come and defend them. What's the difference between the new racist and the old racist, except that the new racist uses terms that are palatable. That's it. And how many of your YouTubian da'i elites are defending the racist? And because they haven't called the racist a racist, which he is, let's be very clear, you're not willing to do it? Andrew Tate is a victim of white supremacy now. Where are the what did he say? The Black Lives Matter bots and the whatchamacallit? Let me get back to his tweet here. He called us Black Lives Matter bots. And what else he called us? CRT drones. I wish a biscuit would. I wish a biscuit would. Almost 250,000 followers on YouTube only. 250,000. Who knows how many on Facebook? Who knows how many on whatchamacallit? Twitter. Who knows how many on his Telegram, which is where he puts out the most outrageous stuff. That's where he gets this is just his Twitter. If he's willing to be that brave on Twitter, you could just imagine his Telegram. And I said I wasn't going to talk about this dude anymore. But this guy is just a gift that keeps on giving, isn't he? The Salafis pushed him forward, and the Hizbis pushed him forward. And even they lying for the guy. They lying. They lied to you about him. Didn't whatchamacallit? Man, what's that biscuit name? Kareem Abu Zaid. Didn't he say, the people that are talking about you, Daniel, don't worry. We are not listening to them, Daniel, and we love you. We love you, Daniel.
And on the far left of it, you have Yaqeen and this, which are more like, whatever, like, appeasement to, liberalism or feministic people or proponents or elements. And the middle of it, you have, I would put you somewhere in the middle, but maybe not on the right. Before you were more on the right, now you're here.
Oh my God.
The people, they love you, Daniel. And we love you too, Daniel. Please, come to our lecture. So, Daniel, we will give you a microphone, and we will give you a kamsa, and we'll give you a shakshuka. And Daniel, don't worry, Daniel. And Daniel, repeat after me, Daniel. I bear witness. I bear witness that I will never, ever make a takfir on the leaders. Y'all are tripping, man. Y'all are tripping. Salaam Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Brother Josh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. How are you, Sheikh?
Alhamdulillah. How you doing, bro?
Alhamdulillah ala kulli hal. You know,
what you
I
got
saw
for
this.
us?
I see the topic of today, and it's really funny because he just got back on Twitter recently. He just got reactivated because he was suspended, and you know, the new black media has been talking about how Elon Musk has, you know, emboldened a lot of these racists to kind of come back on and kind of say this kind of racist stuff, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's but he's I don't know if he was like this before because I never really paid attention to him on Twitter. I don't really use Twitter, but you know, the stark contrast between his posts on Twitter and what he puts out on YouTube, it's like we talked about before, how he likes to control the narrative of his audience. You know, he portrays the particular facade and persona on YouTube to kind of look like, I don't know how he does it, but he's managed to fool people that he's some kind of, you know, caller back to traditional Islam, you know, whatever that means. And on here, you know, it's a clear 4chan-esque posts, you know, clear 4chan language, you know, all of it is. And, you know, back to the racist posts like this. You know, it's really sad because he's either a blatant troll at best, or you know, some kind of federal agent at worst. And you know, at this point, I don't even you know.
I lean more towards the. I lean more towards. I ain't afraid to say it. I believe he's a spook. That's he moves exactly like a spook.
He's definitely an infiltrator of some kind.
Yeah.
You know, with these ridiculous, outrageous posts, and you know, a lot of the supporters on his YouTube, like those are bots because they all say the same buzzwords. They all say the same kind of drivel, and like there's no way those are real people. But I mean, it's fooled people enough to get, you know, these clowns like Kareem Abu Zaid and Muhammad Hijab and, you know, all these other guys because he's given the impression that he has, well, he's given the impression that he has clout, and clout is all that matters with the new algorithm Islam.
Yeah.
So you know, clout is like that's like one of the pillars of their
exactly. It's the new Quran and Sunnah now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta have.
It is the new Quran and Sunnah. You know,
and he's got a blue check mark. He's got a check mark on Twitter. And I think you got to subscribe for that, or you know, you got to apply for it. So
yeah, I don't know much about Twitter, to be honest. Right, but
it's like a valid credibility of the person or whatever. But before Elon Musk was, you know, the CEO, it was really hard, other than the kind of the liberal crowd, to get it. But now he's kind of opened it up for all kind of people to get it, and you know, there was a big debacle about that. But I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's very sad that he's actually fooled people with these huge platforms, that he's credible, and it's, you know, the amount of disservice it's doing to dawah, you know, to the, you know, image of, you know, Muslims online. It's pretty big.
Well, he got a hell of a lot of help. Let's be very, very clear. Let's tell the truth today. He didn't do this by himself. He got a lot of help. Why? Because he graduated from Harvard, and y'all know how y'all Easterners love you some zaddy degrees. And he got the complexion for the erection too. You get me? So now, the first people to put him on was Yaqeen Institute, and he was talking all that liberal stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
He was on it.
Stark contrast.
Yeah.
From this Yaqeen days.
Hardcore on all that liberal stuff when he was with Yaqeen. You get me? when he was with Yakin, all that, you know, calling Sheikh Umar Suleiman a sheikh. He said it. He said he's a sheikh, a credential sheikh, and then all of a sudden, when he himself put Umar Suleiman in the hot seat, he is asking publicly, well, what are the credentials of some of these liberal imams eliciting to Umar Suleiman? Yeah, kadhab. This guy is so deceitful, bro. And
he used to even talk about how BLM was like a necessary.
Look at this. Look at Sister Diana Montana. Look, they coming out now. Muhammad Hussein Ali and Diana Montana. He's your brother in Islam. He is not my brother in anything. Let's be very clear today. We do not do the naivete and gullibility here and say husnul dhan for infiltrators and perpetrators like that.
Yep.
You can make excuses for him so we can see exactly where you sit. So you can either make excuses for him or you can make excuses for us, but you ain't making excuses for both. We're taking a very clear position here.
Yeah, that's just
this is not a one-off, two-off, three-off. This is his character. And we have hundreds and thousands of Muslims signing off on that. So if you are one of those Muslims to sign off on that, no problem. Let us know so we can see you. So there's no more blurry lines. It is like the Battle of Badr. The Sahaba, you see the Sahaba, they didn't know that people can pretend to be Muslim they didn't understand this concept. What exposed them to that reality? It was the Battle of Badr. It was the Battle of Badr. When the Prophet ﷺ was gathering the Muslims to go fight at Badr, who were the only people that refused to fight at Badr? The Munafiqun. Those people who is perpetrating the fraud. Okay, they were faking the funk. They were saying that they were Muslim outwardly for the biscuits. That's why they were saying they were Muslim. But the Muslims at that time, they didn't understand that people can actually do it. People were that evil and that corrupt that they can say with their tongues they believe in Allah and they believe in the Prophet, but in their hearts they disbelieve. So we want to know from you. Look at this victimhood worshiper. Victimhood worship coming to defend their Zaddy. See, here's the thing. We want to know from you.
Daniel worshiper. Yeah,
no problem. No problem. Keep the epithets and the insults coming. It's no big deal for us. We will gladly take your good deeds. It's no big deal for us. But we want to know, what's your excuse going to be on Yom Kiyama when you run behind your Zaddy, Daniel, who is one of the callers, the clear callers to the hellfire, mind you. What's your excuse going to be when you're standing before Allah and you chose to follow that? And if you're really brave, come on and tell us what your excuse is. Look, the link is in the chat. Come and defend them. Come defend your Zaddy. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Rabia.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I had no intention of coming on here today, but here we go. I don't think people actually understand the whole concept behind husnul dhan and having good thoughts of your brother. There is no husnul dhan for the person who is openly sinning and is openly going against the fold of Islam. There's no husnul done for them. You don't have good thoughts for them. So if if Daniel decides to go out and kill somebody, you're still going to say, oh, husnul done, husnul done. If he decides to violate you and your family, are you still going to say husnul done? No, get out of here. I mean, whoo. Let's be real. Like, come on. Like, why?
Look at here. Here's. We put out so much stuff. Like, I'm tired of talking about. I said I wasn't going to do it, but like I said, he's just a gift that keeps on giving. Like, he just does it over and over and over again with impunity.
Yeah, I don't know. I need like a warning for when you do Daniel Pikachu chats, because honestly, he's not good for my mental health. I've never wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Like the vile feeling that I have towards this individual, I've never had that for somebody who I did not know ever in my life. But oh my gosh! And then the fact that people actually follow him like it's okay. But
and we're not talking about one or two people. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of people that sign
a lot. A collective. Yeah. But at the same time, the funny thing is, like, just being here in Canada and dealing with these type of people, his type of people on the side, and how they treat Black people on a regular. Like, I had a Muslim, a brown Muslim landlord one time, and he was the absolute worst person. When I say the absolute worst person, the absolute worst landlord I've ever had in life. And I pray that I never, and this may sound bad, but I pray I never have to deal with a brown landlord ever again in life, because this person was so oppressive. SubhanAllah. I mean, Anyways, there's, like I was saying, there's no husnul done for these type of people, and people need to actually learn what husnul done is, and why we actually have it, and what we actually, and how we actually apply it. This is not it. This is not where you apply it. That's all I gotta say. I'm sorry. Like,
this ain't it. There are scores and scores and scores and scores of statements and tweets and Telegram messages that he says like this on his funneled chat platforms that people don't see, that he will not say on YouTube, because that's how he catches people. You get it?
They'll justify it.
Exactly. Actually, I just posted maybe a couple of weeks ago a saying from Sheikh Saleh Al Fawzan, saying that no, the husnul zan is not for everybody. The same thing, like the same concept, it's not for everybody, and it's definitely not for him. I'm sorry. Like, this is too much. It is too much. It's got my blood boiling, and you can have it. I'm sorry. I'm done. Salaam Alaikum.
Yeah. You see, they never come either. Like, we invite these guys to come. You want to defend your zaddy? Come defend your zaddy. Come. We ain't hiding. Doesn't look like we hiding. Like, we are impressed with your numbers. The Prophet said, Go ahead, Josh.
I mean, a lot of his followers it's like the froth of the sea, like a bunch of low IQ 4chan individuals. They're very immature bunch of people. They have no social skills. All they know is social media. They don't.
Exactly. That's what it is.
Daniel's not even known. Daniel's not even known in like the Muslim circles of Houston. No one knows who Daniel is. He's like an enigma that exists purely online.
Yeah.
And but it's a phenomena that how he's kind of validated and justified the racist sentiment that a lot of the immigrant Muslims have.
Yeah, and he is basically massaging that racist sentiment.
Yeah.
You get me? We know you're racist. Like, what is you talking about, man? We already know you're racist. We get it. We know that. But now you found somebody who can help you in your racism. And you want me to call that my brother? Y'all are tripping. You call that your brother. Let us see you, please. Let us see you, because then we know who we can know. We can know where the point when we want to know who our enemies are. The lines will no longer be blurry. You get it? Just like the Sahaba, they didn't know they had enemies within the ranks. They didn't know. They didn't understand that. Not until the better. Then they understood, oh, wait a second, why aren't these people, don't they want the blessings from Allah? Don't they? No, these people are not your brothers. And Allah exposed them in the Quran. But y'all want us to just to give out husnul dhan like candy. And black folk are like that too. That's the sad thing. Black people have the most husnul dhan out of any other people on earth. Only Allah can help us. Like straight up. We have husnul dhan for our open enemies. You know? Trying to get them to see our humanity and stuff. What you look like trying to appeal to the humanity of somebody who doesn't even think that you're human. Go ahead, Josh.
I mean, that's really all I had to say. I mean, this guy is, he's a degenerate racist. He's evil. He's a pathetic troll individual and, a very obvious agent, infiltrating and causing discord to incite, problems between Muslims online. And it's being very effective. But the benefit for us is that it's painting a clear picture, like you said, who our brothers are. And we're seeing, for sure a lot of them aren't. A huge bulk of these people aren't. So that is one benefit that he is doing, and that's about it. I mean everything he says is typical 4chan alt-right drivel. It's not new. Same Breitbart kind of stuff you can find anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. He's just regurgitating all that stuff. He's not original. He's not like, like somebody who has his own ideas. He's a copy paste type of dude. You get me?
He just takes these stupid memes. Like he literally grabs memes from 4chan, probably throws a little Islamic spin on it. And people think that's clever. That just shows how, stupid and like utterly stupid these people are. Like you think these memes are like some kind of clever, edgy type of criticism, and it's just a cringe.
It's just a meme, bro.
It's not even like, they're not even funny. They're like cringe. There's these dumb, sarcastic. It pisses people off, Well,
that's the goal, right? The goal is to trigger you. So these guys, they think they can come over here and do the same thing, right? And we're like, we don't do that here. If you have something to say, the link is in the chat. You come over here, be a man, and defend your zaddy. You think we out here getting triggered over you? We ain't worried about you. We don't know you. You know what I'm saying?
They can only type comments. They can't.
That's
talk.
all they can do. Wallahi, that's all they do.
They don't know how to talk. A lot of them are foreigners, so their English isn't even that good.
Look what he's saying. Go find daddy. Like, does anybody know what that means?
This dude is some foreign guy who looks at Daniel as, the white savior, white Muslim savior.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's really pathetic that Daniel is their role model. I mean, some overweight incel-minded dude. Like, he's like the alpha male role model for these guys. It's really telling, that they look up to this guy.
So Sister Diana Montana says, I understand he has some problematic statements, but we can't jump to a conclusion and call him a racist. Who's jumping to a conclusion here?
It's already been proven.
It's already been proven on this channel time and time again. You think I just saw this one tweet and then jumped to the... Okay.
Diana,
Josh, isn't... how many people on this channel have we called racist?
One.
And who is it?
Daniel
Haqiqatjou.
Pikachu.
Yeah.
Yep.
Many other people have made statements that could be considered racist. Many. And we put them out there, did we not?
Yep.
Did we say any of those people are racist? No, we didn't. Why are we calling? The question you need to ask is, why are you calling Daniel racist? Not jump. Nobody here is jumping to any conclusion. This is after mountains and mountains and mountains of evidence. We're not jumping anywhere. And if you would like to see the evidence on this channel, there's an entire playlist. There's a whole playlist of evidence that proves our point. After you watch that playlist and you still believe that Daniel is not a racist, then you can come back and you can refute those points. No problem. We have no issue with that.
It's just basic, and his recent Twitter. He went on this recent rabid Twitter posting rampage about calling all these scholars red pill chads to try to make a point. Like, he makes that like synonymous to, I don't know, Kawama in Islam or something. Totally wrong synonym. But everybody was calling him out on it, and he just calls them simps. You know, his closest, like, people that actually respect him, people that actually like him, they're trying to give him. That's the funny thing about him. Like, you try to give this guy some advice the nicest way possible, and he acts like he throws a little temper tantrum and calls you a simp, or like redirects it or deflects. Like, I've never seen. I mean, this is a grown man too, but you know. He acts like a child when given any kind of advice by his supporters, and he calls them like a bot, a simp, or just these stupid little names.
Yeah,
and people justify all of. If anybody else did it, if anybody else acted like that, people would call them out. But when Daniel does it, they give him like 1,000 excuses. I don't get it.
Yeah,
it's so pathetic. And bizarre.
And again, he got a lot of help to get to this point.
He's got federal resources.
Yeah, I believe that.
He's got federal resources.
I believe that the way
he's got ongoing help. But yeah, he got help from the YouTubian Dawah Elite by Sajid, and he's a smart guy. He used because for a time he had the Salafis and his current Insole crowd and all kind of Muslims under the umbrella supporting him. But he kind of used the Salafis as a way to kind of project him to get more views. And once he was done with them, he decided to, because he wasn't calling them bootlickers a couple years ago. He wasn't talking about the Madakhala, years ago, and these types of criticisms. This is all new. So, this is just a new strategy to try to garner support from another group. He's just kind of using these various people to get these new audiences. And I'm going to
tell you a story, right? And I mentioned this story before, and I'm going to mention it again for those people who don't know, right? For their benefit. Okay, so a couple of years ago, Sajid, he asked me, do you know a guy named Daniel Haqiqatjou? I said, who? And I didn't know who he was, right? I knew who he was, right? He goes, he has some good things to say and blah, 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 blah. So I went and I checked out his stuff. But he told me in that same conversation, he said that his problem is that he has some cottagy stuff. Way back then.
Wow. He's got some cottagy stuff, but that alt-right stuff is good.
Way back then. And he still pushed him into the stratosphere. And Kareem Abu Zaid knew, he pushed him. Wajdi knew, he pushed him. Uthman Farouk knew, he pushed him. Even Abu Osama al-Dhahabi gave him the biggest tazkiyah the biggest tazkiyah, and we were the only ones, the Black Muslim grassroots, that said you can keep that tazkiyah. We said it. And now look, was we right or was we right? You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. He has a pattern here. Okay? The first thing is that he was in Yaqeen Institute, correct?
Yep.
Did he drop him?
Nope.
They dropped him, right?
That's right.
Yaqeen dropped him. Then it was the Salafis who pushed him, knowing full and well that he had these cottagey tendencies. But we didn't talk about his cottagey tendencies. What did we talk about?
His
racism. Alt-right. Yeah, alt-right. Exactly. His alt-right tendencies. That's how we started. We started with his alt-right because that is so easy to prove.
It's more obvious than the
it's more obvious, way more obvious. We talked about his alt-right tendencies. That's how we started. We didn't start calling him a racist or anything like that. We were the ones who were giving him excuses. We were saying, you know, this is borderline racist, all this kind of stuff. But then if it's a one-off, you can say that's a mistake. Maybe. But when it becomes a pattern, no, it's racism, bro. He's very clearly in favor of the system of white supremacy. Very clearly.
And then when you advise him about it, he attacks you back and like insults you, you know, calls you a BLM bot. You know,
for me, I wish a biscuit would. I notice how these guys, they don't address me directly. They always do some side steps because they know what's coming if they try.
They're cowards. They'll never do it.
Yeah, they know very well what's coming if they try. They seen some of my refutations that I've done. Okay, nobody wants no smoke from me. Okay, they seriously they don't. Even Sajid, he said that to me one time. He goes, nobody wants smoke from you. Okay. And that's just the fact, because they know I'm going to come with a bunch of, you know, receipts. We ain't hiding from nobody, and we're going to say it exactly like it is. So I wish a biscuit would. You get me? I debated Daniel already. Everybody knows who won that debate.
What was the debate about, Sheikh?
It was about the COVID.
Oh, okay.
Right, and debated on Sajid's channel. Everybody know. Anyone who's seen that debate know who won. Okay, even Sajid said, "Yeah, you won," and Daniel had to acknowledge that. That's when I was friendly with him. And after that debate, that my sister was the one who told me about his alt-right stuff, right? And then I started looking at that time, and I did not say anything. So don't give me lessons on Husnul Dhan. I was having it. Okay, I had a lot of Husnul Dhan for all these dudes. I was not hasty at all. I remained silent. I didn't say anything. I talked to them behind the scenes. Okay? These guys are on some other thing. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know it was about the views and the algorithm. I didn't know it was not. I'm the one who said this is algorithm Islam or algorithm Islam. I'm the one who said that. I'm the one who told everybody that YouTube is a business and this is why these people are acting like this. And now you have a completely new religion popping up, a totally new religion.
Yep.
If you have hundreds and thousands of people following this rhetoric, you call that a religion. That's a religion now. It's a new sect. You get me?
Yeah,
we are the ones who
right before our eyes.
Put that up. It's not they have a pattern of behavior, a pattern of speech. Okay, and they are absolutely united in censoring anything related to Black justice. Absolutely united in that.
That's because there's no racism in Islam.
Yeah.
There's no racism in Islam, so don't talk about that.
Yeah, don't talk about that. We're all brothers in Islam and stuff. We know we ain't all brothers. Sorry to tell you. Sorry to bust your bubble. But let me put it to you like this, okay? Shall I show you why we are not all brothers? Let me show you why. Okay? Let's be very clear today. Not every Muslim with a Muslim name who even prays and fasts is your brother. Okay? Let me show y'all something. This right here. This right here. You pull it up again. You pull this up. Sorry, y'all. Sorry, y'all. Okay, I'm back. Okay, let me get to this. Make dua for my internet, man. But I'm gonna show y'all something. Okay. This right here. This right here. These things who are praying and fasting and enslaving black folk and raping black women and torturing Africans on Yom Kippur, if I had the power and if Allah let me, I would kick them in hell as quickly as I could. These are my brothers. Have husnul done for this? They are not my brothers. They are. It's like Jesus in the Bible said when he was asked by those Jews. He was asked. Those Jews said that we are the sons of Abraham, and Jesus told them, if you were the sons of Abraham, you would do the works of Abraham. But you condemn me, and I have come to you with the truth. But rather, you are not the sons of Abraham. You are the sons of the devil. He was a liar from the beginning, and he was a murderer from the beginning. These are not my brothers. These are the brothers of the sons of the devil with their praying and their fasting. Brothers where? Yeah, I seen Ancient Smith there. Let me put the link back on for y'all to come back on. Brothers where? Husnul done for that? There is not enough husnul done in the dunya for me to give to that. The only dua I make for these Muslims is that they rot in hell. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Rabia.
Well, like Salam. I think it's kind of comical. Well, it's not even comical. It's not even ha. Like, it's funny, but I mean, it is funny because why do you have to? I don't even understand why the question was even asked. What is your position on the Holocaust? Like, why do you even have to have a position?
I'm not paying attention to that.
That is so ridiculous. But here's the thing, because it reminds me.
Let's keep talking about what we were talking about here.
No, this is gonna tie in because it reminds me of the time where Sajid put up that thing about the Muslim girl, and are you black or are you Muslim? And why is it that we, as Black Muslims, always have to come up with the position to defend something about whatever? Why do we always have to prove our Islam to everybody else?
I don't want to prove anything to anybody. Well, I right here, we can stand on our own 2 feet, right? And you already know that I don't address everything in the comments,
right?
But thanks for helping in the algorithms,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it. Appreciate the support.
Yeah. But even I'm not even paying attention to that, to be honest. You know, who cares, right?
So
we
ridiculous.
are talking about something related to Black people. We have our own Holocaust.
Exactly.
You know Jazakallah khair, hayakumullah, brother Josh. May Allah reward you and bless you and multiply for you 100,000 fold. Ameen. May Allah bless the Black grassroots. Ameen. Hayakumullah. Thanks for visiting us, Sheikh. Thank you so much. You know what I mean? So, brothers where? You understand? Black folk got to stop being gullible. Black folks don't go to heaven. Okay? This is what everybody believes about you. The whole world believes that you don't go to heaven. And you're calling these people who don't believe that you go to heaven your brothers. They don't even believe that you're human.
SubhanAllah.
They have zero respect for you. Zero. Brothers where? Husnul dhan where? Give me a break.
But what was Bilal, rahimahullah? What was Abu Bakr, rahimahullah? What were the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam?
Those were brothers.
Those were brothers.
They were ride or die for each other. You will ride your car right over us and watch us die. Okay? Don't call me brother, please. Please. I know very well who my brothers are. My brothers are the ones who want from me what they want for themselves. If you do not want from me and my people what you want for you and your people, we are not brothers, okay? Let's make that crystal clear. If you are watching this slavery, grape, torture in Libya, you got nothing to say about that. Like zero to say about that. But you're very quick to defend Palestine and Syria and Turkey and all these other people groups, which we do, by the way. Because we do that because we believe that they are our brothers. But you can't even bat an eyelash at this. Don't confuse us with some gullible Negroes that is enamored and bedazzled by being close to other people groups. We are not that.
Here's the flip side of that, though, because it's making it very hard for a lot of Black Muslims to start to support these other people groups because of the way that they treat us, right?
No, this actually what's happening is the opposite. Black people support everybody who doesn't
Black
support.
people, we've been supporting everybody, though.
Yeah, exactly. But we are the only people that are saying That need to stop. Okay, support yourself.
Exactly, and that's the thing, right? That's what I'm saying. It's becoming very hard because when they do what they do, and then Zadi puts them in their place and lets them know that they're still not white, who do they come running to for support?
It's always us in the front.
It's always us. They always want to run to us to save them when they totally show their behinds and realize that oh no, we're so oppressed. This is Islamophobia. Like, come on.
Yeah, because they want, and this has been a strategy for the last 60 years, anyways, to make black folks struggle, everybody else's struggle. So all black people are always in front of other people's problems, and when it comes to our problems, there is no history of other people groups ever reciprocating what we give to them. Never. And I challenge anybody to do that, especially Muslims.
Never. And that one-off person, that does not count. That one-off person from the other community does not count. I'm sorry. Because then, that's exactly what the response is going to be is, well, this person, no.
No, this is a new day. It's a new day. And you're gonna find the Black Muslim grassroots. We started off so small, man. You know what I mean? Because I didn't do this, for clouds or anything like that. And it's very obvious.
Well, you started this channel off as a fitness channel. Like, it wasn't even supposed to be this.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So, anyways, like, it didn't start off like, well, I started this channel actually not as a fitness side. I started this channel to sell vehicles, right? Eventually, but it kind of like evolved into this, right? Because we're talking about Troy and all that kind of stuff. Right. And now those videos are on Patreon because there's no real need for them to be on here. And now we're talking about this Black grassroots stuff because there's a specific need for it. Because nobody was
need for it.
Yeah. And we just started starting it. But now you see the tone changing amongst Black Muslims. And we still are not like a big channel. And the tone is changing because of what we started.
Right.
You get it? Black Muslims are waking up.
And we still want good for you. And we still want good for you. We don't want to see we don't want to see the downfall of Muslims. That's not what this is about. But at the same time, you're gonna have to stop wanting to see our downfall too.
Yeah, well, they're always going to be there. So
yeah, of course,
we have to be concerned with ourselves and not be running behind some other people who solving their problems. One of these Negroes out there talking about, can a Bangladeshi marry a Pakistani and stuff, and answering that question like, what? Can you imagine?
Yeah, that was. I heard that question. Yeah, that was.
Can you imagine? Can a Bangladeshi marry a Pakistani? You got nothing to you really so divorced from your own community. Look what the type of questions you're asking. You're answering them.
Right.
You get me?
They're so divorced from their deen. Like, what?
Yeah, I mean, this is the reality, right? So we are the ones who are focused on our own people, and we're not shy about it, because every other people group focuses on their own people, and they tell us that we are not allowed to focus on our own people, while they focus on our own people, and they're not even shy to do it.
No, Pakistani they're not.
Bazaar, Bangladeshi Bazaar, the Turkish Masjid, the Bosnian Masjid, the Somalian masjid. You know what I mean? They're not afraid to, and that's intelligence anyway. It's intelligent to try to do things for your own community. We are the only ones that if we try to do something for our own community, oh, brother, you should be Muslim first, not black. We are the only ones that ever get told that.
I ever get that statement. We're the only ones that do.
I've never heard any other people group be saying, oh, you should be, Pakistani first and Muslim first and not Pakistani first. I never heard anybody chastise any other people group for that. Never.
Which is like, why? Like, yeah. Just ridiculous.
You know what I mean? I wish a biscuit would. I wish a biscuit would, man. But looky here. Right? Black people don't go to heaven. They do not. Black folks don't go to heaven. Why? Because according to Abraham Lincoln, there's a physical difference between white and black races, which I believe forever forbid the two races living together in terms of social and political equality. Abraham Lincoln. Okay? According to Lawrence Stern, it is impossible for us to suppose these creatures, meaning Africans, to be men, because allowing them to be men, a suspicion will follow that we ourselves are not Christians. Meaning, if you believe that black people are men, you are not a Christian. You're hearing this? Who are the people that are the practical application of these statements today? Who are the people enslaving black folks with impunity today?
Arabs.
In 2023, they're doing it with impunity. So please do not tell me that we are brothers until you hate to see us in this condition as much as we hate to see us in this condition. You have all these excuses for everybody else. Everybody in the dunya get an excuse. And you Negroes got to be quiet. But the thing is, here at the black grassroots, the difference between us and these other Negroes is that we are saying it, that we are not brothers. We are not looking for your brotherhood. We're not looking for brotherhood from the devil, whether it is a cross-wearing devil or a kofia-wearing devil. We're not looking for a brotherhood from that. We're looking for a brotherhood from our real brothers. And now, because of this new religion, this new alt-right religion, and the Al-Ghurad Islam, we can see the enemies from within, just like the Sahaba saw the enemies from within after the Battle of Badr.
The crazy part about it is what goes around comes back around again. Put it in Islamic terms, what you do will come back to you, whether it be in this life or the next.
Well, even still, for us, black people have to be the ones to try to change their own conditions.
Of course.
You get me?
Yeah, I think that right now is where you're seeing a lot of people trying to change that condition. We're not going for the okie doke like how we used to.
Yeah.
Right. We're not letting people railroad us like how they used to. Yeah. And this is the thing what comes with
like that. We are the reason why we quote Daniel Haqiqatjou on his channel is to open people's eyes. The reason why we put out articles like this one in Al Jazeera is to open people's eyes. This is the reality of the situation.
Right.
Now go call, after you see the reality of the situation, go call those people your brothers now. I dare you. That's the challenge. That's the
but
challenge.
They still will.
Yeah,
they still will.
And once they do,
we know exactly where they stand.
We know exactly where they stand. So thank you. Okay. We ain't trying to convince you after that. You saw the proof and you still sitting on that side of the fence. Cool. It's fine by us. It's easier for us now because now we can see you. That's it. After that, Hostel Done is gone, gone, gone. But anyway, Sister Tika, I'll let you get some last thoughts. We're going on for a long time now. Right?
I don't really have any last thoughts other than I will be happy when we don't have to talk about Dum Dum Pikachu again. That's all. I can't. Like, he's so vile. He's so violent, and I can't believe the amount of people that run behind him, or the people that supported him, knowing that he had these thoughts. And that's the other thing is I'm sorry. There's a lot of people knowing that he knew exactly what he was about. But you know what? That will come back on them too. So
Muhammad Hijab wanted him. Be very clear. Muhammad Hijab knew 100% what he was about. He knew.
Clearly knew.
1 second here.
And I'm not right. You may not say it about Sajid, but I have a strong feeling that Sajid knew too.
Muhammad Hijab didn't have to say this.
And on the far left of it, you have Yaqeen and this, which are more like appeasement to liberalism or feministic people or proponents or elements. And the middle of it, you have, I would put you somewhere in the middle, but maybe not on the right. Before you were more on the right, now you're here.
Why you always lying?
Muhammad Hijab is like the pure definition of a brown noser, y'all. Like, straight up.
Well, that was just a lie. That was a lie. That was an outright lie. He knew what he was doing, and he said.
I don't mean you personally, but we can say things like, "Well, the West is not bearing sufficient responsibility for its colonial past." And so at some level, that kind of devolves down to the individual.
So let me kind of rephrase it then. I think that's more of a left-wing criticism. It's like, there's reparations and affirmative action programs. I'm not advocating any of that, and nor do I even believe in any of that, to be honest with you.
Nor me.
Yeah, so what I was putting as an alternative to that is this.
Told you.
Booty kissing to the ultimate power. Excuse me.
Yeah. You get me? So that's the new religion now.
Anything for likes.
Well, algorithm, right? Anything for to massage the algorithm. Right now, alt-right and the red pill is hot on the algorithm. So that's what these guys are doing. That's what they do. You get me? And these guys now have taken a very hard right turn, talking about reparations as liberal talking points and stuff. Like, what? What are you talking about? What are you talking? You only saying that because Jordan Peterson's right in front of you.
Right.
That's why you're saying that. Where are these liberals talking about reparations and stuff? Where are they?
People need to be very aware of people who say things for a paycheck.
Yeah.
And then people who tell you the truth.
Yeah.
There's a huge
that's
difference.
What they do now. That's what they do. We are the ones who are calling it out here. You know what I mean? Anybody can challenge what we're saying. I challenge you to challenge it. You get me? I challenge you to challenge it.
But they'll never actually challenge you.
Yeah, and we know that, but it's cool. Look, it's cool because we got work to do with our own people, right? So let's keep waking up our own people. Let's get our people on the same page, on our own code of conduct, building with ourselves. You know what I mean? Respecting our own scholarship, and leave these people alone. Leave them alone. Stop spending your money and your time and your hard work on them building their stuff, and you ain't got nothing. Like, why you need to have nothing and everybody else got to have everything on your back? Permanent slaves, slave mentality, post-traumatic slave syndrome.
Right.
Anyways, Jazakallah khair. Thanks for everybody for coming through. I want to thank the brother Josh. Jazakallah khair. May Allah reward you and bless you and multiply it for you 100,000-fold. Thank you so much for your generosity. I want to thank everybody who joined me today. And don't forget to check out the Patreon itself. We have the archives on there. I'll probably be putting out some videos from the archives so you can see the kind of stuff that we got on there. Tomorrow we're going live as well, right? And we usually go live twice a week, mostly on either Fridays and Saturdays or Thursday, Fridays and Saturdays, right? So we'll be going live tomorrow as well. So we'll see you guys tomorrow, inshallah. Subhanahu wa bihamdik, wa shalala ant, wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.
We are the Muslim wing of the Black grassroots. Unapologetic, strong, uncompromising voices that have been in the faces of the enemy and those who tap dance for them. The Feachaz is proud to present the archives exclusively on Patreon.